watching this afterwards, that's how you know this is a properly fun stream. I always have the full chat on, no top message nonsense. I want to hear what everyone's got to say.
What does
Well,
top message do?
I think that's a good question. Ethan's asking what top message does. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure it just filters out like any sort of levels of chat where it doesn't seem that interesting. So it kind of tries to automatically pick the most interesting chat, as if there's some way to differentiate between what is and isn't interesting. It's I don't know, YouTube magic, I guess. Well, it's going to be a real chill one. We're going to literally repeat what we did yesterday. I've been spending a lot of time editing and also like chatting on my phone again. And yes, it's been a great day. I can't lie. It's been a fantastic day today, but it's time to have a chill. It's a late one again. So much stuff goes on. It's unreal. And I wanted to do my lights. I wanted to fix my lights. Let me give you a little look. It's obviously going to wash it out, but I've got a light strip up here, and you can sort of see it's on these black hooks here. There's a bit of wood hanging, and the lights are attached to the back of that. It was attached to the actual underside of the cabinets, but it fell down. So I've hooked it up there temporarily, and I actually want to put them up properly. I'm thinking about putting them up the top though. They were basically where they're sitting now, but just actually attached. But I want them up the top, I think, rather than on the white bits. The idea was the white bit would reflect more light, but I'm actually starting to feel like there's too much light from them for a living room situation. I have a sensitivity to bright lights. Apparently, it's because I've got big pupils, so the opticians say. And Ethan is quite the same as well. Mostly only affects us if we're going from a dark room into like the bright sunshine, but it's more relaxing for me if I'm in a not super bright environment when I'm relaxing, which is why I don't want to have my lights sort of exposed either. So this strip, which is like an LED strip, that's essentially hidden behind the paneling so that you don't actually have to look at the exposed. I don't know. It's not a filament, is it? Like an old halogen? I don't know what you call that, but and it's not a bulb. So the emitter, we'll go with an emitter. So yeah, you can't see the actual emitters. You just see the effect of light. And I thought that the best thing to do was to, as you see, all the walls are white. I thought the best thing to do was actually put the light there so that it would reflect off. But I've since changed my mind and thinking that when I fix this, I'm going to put it up at the top and just see what that looks like. And that was the plan for tonight, but that has changed a little bit. Partly because I ended up running late with a chat on my phone, but also because I've realised that tomorrow what we'll do is head out and we're going to go over to my allotment and do a few bits and pieces, and then we're going to my parents' house for a bit. And at some point, I'm going to drop my ladders off so that I don't have them in here, and they won't be in the way when I want to do that work. So I thought, let's put that off till a bit later in the week. But it's definitely going to get done this week, and I'll probably do it on a live stream so that everyone can watch it. So if you're new and you haven't subscribed and you fancy watching me fiddling around with the lights in the van, and I should mention that for any new viewers, I'm a van lifer. So that's not always clear on the streams, on the titles and the thumbnails. I don't make that really obvious, but that's not really what the stream's about. It's not super about the van life, although it is about my life and I'm a van lifer. It's about you guys too as well. So there are people in here, and I've even had a thumbs up, which I appreciate. And yeah, first person in the chat, Boxaz. I don't know how we're saying that. We're going to go with Bob because it's B-O-B at the start. So I'm going to call you Bob unless you tell me otherwise. But hi, Bob, or Bobo. I don't know. What do you prefer? Tell me what I should be calling you. But great to have you in anyway. I appreciate everyone who comes in, especially the people who get in the chat, because that's what we're here for. We're here to do a bit of back and forth and meet each other, find out who's had a good day, who's had a bad day. Yeah, you don't have to get in here going, oh, I've had a great day. If it's been a bad one, let us know. It's what we're here for. And yeah, excuse me, I've got something in my teeth. Yeah, great to have everyone in. And like I say, subscribe, and yeah, get in the chat. Let me know who you are, where you're from, how your day's been. That is literally the point of these streams. The hope is that eventually we have enough people that we're going to have people piling in, just telling us all about their day and where they're from and something about themselves. Daft Hat's in. Hi, Daft Hat. Good to see you, man. And someone called Isley, I guess. Great to have you in. Thanks for saying hi. How is everyone then? How's your day been, Daft Hat? It's let me just double check. Do you know, being a van lifer and having the kind of life I have where I don't work every week, I sometimes forget what day of the week it is, but it's definitely Monday, isn't it? Oh dear.
It's Monday.
Oh, Helen Davies, I recognise that name. I think you've been here before. Great to see you again. Good to hear you've had a great day, Isley. Yeah, mine's been fantastic. To be honest, I've had a brilliant day. So
Who's spamming the hearts?
somebody is. Yeah, thank you for all the hearts. Lovely. Um, yeah, so we're back basically doing like what we did yesterday because I'm just so lazy today. We're doing a little bit of shipwreck arcana.
Yeah, again.
So quick ask in the chat: who wants to see my face and who wants to see the cards? Because I was thinking that today what we could do is try to set you up so you can actually see the cards and see what's going on. Because yesterday it was just sort of looking across us. Helen says, "Hi, Ethan."
Hi.
Give him a wave. So for anyone who's new, that's Ethan. That's my youngest son.
I should get my glasses.
Henry, my oldest, is not actually with us. Well, that's a good idea. Your glasses, yeah. If his mum saw this, which she won't, but if she saw this, she'd be like, "He's got to put his glasses on." Oh dear. So yeah, so that is a plan anyway for later in the week. Get the lights done, and I've got a few other jobs I want to do this week because I've got a little bit of travelling in mind for the weekend. It's Noah's birthday today. So happy birthday to Noah. I know he's not in, but he might watch this later. If he does turn up, we'll give him a happy birthday then. There is a plan to go and see him on Friday and do a games night, which I'm looking forward to. He'll probably even put food on, which is always brilliant. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So I'm also going to do a little bit more heading around some new places, hopefully on the weekend. Yeah, I do have a date on the weekend, so I will be filming about some of what's going on in my life in a video at some point. I've had this idea. I'm going to start trying to do some video journaling, maybe even every day, just to try to kind of like talk about what's going on in my life, and then some of it, I don't know how much, but some of it will get used. Daft Hat says, I think Tim has had a bit of a grueler. Trolls online went up. Yeah, we were chatting about that last night. I think hopefully I cheered him up about it. But yeah, I think Tim probably should avoid Reddit, to be honest, in places like that. It's too full of trolls in those places.
Did you get trolled?
Yeah, well, it's just, I don't even know if you call it trolling. I think there's just people who've got bad attitudes out there, and yeah, they just don't know that. I go by a rule, which is if you don't have something positive to say, probably just don't say anything. You know, wait until you've actually got something of value to say that could, you know, be useful or nice or whatever. If you've only got something bad to say, why are you bothering opening your mouth? And I think in real life, most people have a tendency to understand that's probably the way you should do it, and they genuinely stick to it, with a few exceptions, of course. But online, obviously, with the anonymity, it's a bit like road rage. When you feel like you've got that security, obviously people are just going to speak their base of minds, and there's definitely enough people out there who, when they do that with someone like Tim, is going to take it a little bit too much to heart. But I tell him, ignore them people. It's just they're rubbish, and they're the opposite to what we're doing here. We're all good in here. I think I've only had to actually kick one person out so far because they came in spamming bad words.
What happened?
They came in spamming bad words, which I can't repeat because I want to keep my channel clean.
Oh,
And
so you can actually kick people out and make them bad.
yeah, do you know, I didn't know until that happened, but I was like, oh, there must be an option. Let's go down here, and I had the option to basically. I don't think I like, banned him or anything. I think I just basically chucked him out and gave him like a 24-hour timeout or something, which was probably enough. But I'm still new to this. In all fairness, it's like a very, very new thing, and if anything, it's just practice for being on camera. I'll be honest, this is like partly where this came from. I was like, I should do more live streams, get better at just talking to the camera, being natural. and also talking my thoughts, because I'm one of those people where I sometimes talk too quick because I'm trying to catch up with my thoughts, and every now and then, if I'm too slow, my thoughts carry on, and then I forget what I was talking about, and I'm like, oh, there's a disconnect. I don't know where I am in the conversation. Izzy asks, how long you been doing YouTube for? Well, technically, it's been about 2 years. Well, it's coming up to 2 years. I think my first video ever dropped somewhere around the start of November, or it might have been the end of October. I can't quite remember. But it's about 2 years ago anyway, give or take, a couple of weeks.
But it was like the 25th of October.
Well, there you go. Ethan says about the 25th of October. So, yeah, quite literally almost bang on 2 years. But I've had a bit of a hiatus. So I think my last video before like October this year was in like March or April, like about 6-7 months before. A lot of personal stuff happening. So, yeah, I had to just take a bit of a step back and deal with personal life stuff. And there is a video about that on my channel. You can check that out. So in about 2023. That's when I got started. Yeah, but 9 months of grueling effort to get monetized, and then they took it away from me sometime a few weeks ago because I hadn't been posting enough content. And then if your stats drop too low and you don't qualify anymore, they take it away, which I'm not bothered about. I didn't really earn a lot of money from it, but I am a bit gutted that we don't have the memberships anymore, and I'm able to do specific videos for some of my more avid supporters. Hi Sparker, good to have you in. I was wondering if you'd make it today.
Come on, Dad.
You haven't responded to my email. Sorry, my fellow, we should get started on the game. I've got chatting because there's people in the chat. I'm going to blame you guys.
I want to chat too, though.
Yeah, let me turn around so you can see me and Ethan. There we go. There we go. So I should probably give everyone a quick little spin. So anyone who's new and hasn't seen my channel, because I'm guessing Isley hasn't seen it, but this is the van. So excuse the washing up on the side. We had dinner earlier and I haven't cleaned up, but yeah, that's the van. That's literally home sweet home. You've got all the usual stuff you have in the kitchen really on one end. We've got our favourite bit of kit here. Sorry, it's not quite level, but there we go. The old stove, full of loads of stuff on the top at the moment. And then, yeah, you've got the boys' rooms up the top here. Not that Henry's gets as much use as it used to be fair. And then we're sitting on the sofa, which turns into my bed. Fantastic stuff. That's a quick tour for the new people. Yeah, let me spin this so that you can see Ethan as well. There we go. How's that? There we go. Not bad. Yeah. So we'll do just like yesterday. But if anyone wants to see the cards better, just speak up. Izzy's asking, what do I do? Well, for a job, if that's what you're asking, I do window cleaning. But for YouTube, I do camping, van life stuff, hiking videos, and just this is like the new thing that I'm trying, which is my daily live streams. As you're new, I'll explain this to you. I made a commitment a little while ago at the start of the month. I'm going to be doing a whole year's worth of daily live streams if I can do it. So that's the idea. The challenge is, can I do every day for a whole year? Sometimes they'll be half an hour, sometimes they're 2 hours. I mean, I think the longest one we've had from the dailies is about 2 hours and 10 minutes, but that's because we were out on a campsite. I had Noah and I think we had Noah and Tim. I think that's the longest one, or it might be a different video that I'm thinking of where maybe I was just on my own doing a campfire or something. But what are we doing? Sorry, Izzy. This is a card game called Shipwreck Arcana, and we will get playing in a second. How many years of university do you need to have a basic grasp of this game? That's a good question, Sparker. I would say it depends on how much you were drinking while you were at university, or other substances I should probably comment on as well. I would say if you were sober, probably just the 1 year. If you're not, 3 to 4. I'll be introducing this to somebody on the weekend, actually. Well, that's my plan anyway, but that might go completely wrong and we might not do it. Hazy's in. Hi, Hazy. Good to see you. We got plenty of regulars in and some new people. This is exactly what we want. Regulars and new people. It's fantastic. So it's already a great evening, and it's even better now you guys are here too. So yeah, thanks for that. How's your evening, Hazy? And I don't know if I've asked you yet, but let me have a little look, see who else I've asked. How are you doing, Sparker? I was asking you about the. You got to reply to my email. We've got to get this camp organised. I definitely want to get you out there, man. Yeah, I think we've checked everyone. Yeah, that's good. There we are. I do like to swipe up every now and then. It didn't really I didn't really think much of that, but a couple of people have said that it's unusual for streamers to kind of look back through the chat and see what has been said. But for me, it's quite important. So I'll just talk about what we're doing again. Some of you might have already heard this from the other day. Hayes says, I'm actually in work tonight, so I'll be in and out. That's okay. I'm just really glad that you've managed to turn up and join us for a little bit. So I appreciate that. And if we can make your work a little bit more interesting and less boring, that's all good, isn't it? So this game is just about picking out two fates. He's got one over here that I don't know what it is, and then he's put his number one against this card. And I read each card has rules to a lot of logic rules, if you like, to say where you should put things. So he's putting his number one here, and that's the odd card, and it says, if the sum of your fates is odd, play one of them here. So that tells me if he's placed a number one, his other one must be an even. So he has to have a 2, 4, or a 6. I can look at the other cards now and see if there's any what I call negative information. So things where they say to me, if he had these numbers, he would have played there. So for instance, we have a card here that says less than or equal to 5. And it basically says if the sum of your fates is 5 or less, play one of them here. So if you have a 4 and a 1, that's the perfect card. You put a 4 in here, the only number he can have left is a 1. And because of that logic, I know that if he had those two, he would have played a 4 there. So he can't have a 4. So that leaves only the options of a 2 or a 6. And that's how this game works, essentially. And he's got higher. If one of your fates is higher than the other, play the higher one here. Now, if he had a 1 and a 2, I think we can all say that'd be pretty straightforward. You'd put a 2 there, wouldn't you? Because you'd know that the other one had to be a 1. So because of the logic of that one, I can say he doesn't have a 2. And so what we have is, I guess you have a 6. And he's got a 6. There you go. Nice, easy first one, unlike the other day.
I knew
Oh, we've got a redacted message, retracted. I assume Daft Hat did it himself. I still am trying to work this out, so I'm aware that sometimes things might get automatically taken out by YouTube if something goes in. What happened to top trumps? Yeah, do you know, I used to play that a lot when I was little. If I'm honest, this is a very good game because it's part of his education in a way. This is what I term an educational game. It works on his mathematics, but also his logical thinking and his ability to kind of think of multiple things. So like, it's very good cerebrally. So we don't lose that fate, that stays there, because the fate only has 1 moon and there's 3 moons on here. You have to fill enough up to get enough moons to fade them. So that stays there. We get, do you want to put a point up there? Look, we get 1 point on the board. That's all good. Sparker says, I can actually understand that game. There you go. There you go. It's not that bad, is it? To be fair, some of the cards are ridiculous. So some are pretty straightforward, like odds and evens. But there's some cards that, I mean, I went to university for mathematics of all things, and I struggle. There are some cards here where I'm like, oh, I've got to think about it every time. Like for a long... Yeah, well, yeah, inevitable can be tough because you've got to remember it's there. That's not even about mathematics. Just remember that you've actually got to look at that card and deal with it. And there's another one called Steal, or The Thief, I think it might be called. That's annoying. But there's a few where it's just the logic of it, the way they say it, like, oh, that's... So, like, the one that sometimes gets me is the multiples one, where if one of your cards is double or triple the other, play one of them. And it's the play one of them, because then if you play like a 2, that means the guy could have a 1, because 2 is double of 1, but it also means you could have a 4 or a 6. And sometimes I forget that you could have the 1 because I'm thinking, oh, it's like double the 2 or triple the 2, and I forget the 2 could have been double something else. So yeah, it gets me. Spark says, top trumps, not that madness you are playing. Oh, right. Oh, sorry, you were talking about top trumps. Fair play. I thought for a second there you were saying you were understanding the game. Ah, gutted.
Ah,
So, I've now got to choose mine. Oh, a difficult one. Hmm. Hmm. Why don't you talk to the people while I'm thinking?
well, I don't know what to say.
Tell them about your slaps today. How many people you slapped off with the tower on his Roblox? Is it
Yeah.
Roblox? He plays this game. What's it called? What's it called?
It's called Runaway Tower.
Yeah,
Runaway Tower.
yeah.
And
He loves that game. He's been laughing all day and giggling. Well, not all day, but he anytime he's played it today, he's been laughing. Oh, we've got new person Miriam. I'm going to go with that. Hopefully that's the right pronunciation. Nice to see you in the chat. Thanks for joining us. This makes Bitcoin hedge funding sound easy. Oh dear. Daft Hat's got some humour. I love that. Have I asked you yet, Daft Hat? How's your day been, man? I'm so distracted. I'm barely remembering what I've talked about.
yeah.
And that shows you exactly how complicated this game is. I have to say, this is probably one of the more difficult games that I play, and I wouldn't play this with everyone. It's I don't know if any of you were in here when I was talking about the date I had with the woman who couldn't get Bandido, because we were playing Bandido and I was talking about it, and it's like the simplest game. It's about as simple as Snap. Honestly, it's so intuitive. It's about as simple as playing Snap, or like I'd say Top Trumps is probably slightly more complicated than Bandido, and yeah, just the fact that she can get. I mean, if I tried to play something like this, she would probably run out the pub. Oh dear. Not that I judge her for it. I mean, it's not everyone's bag, but still, it
Imagine if she's
was
got this one but didn't get Bandido though.
cool. Oh, that would be
Wow.
weird, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
That would be. Mind you, though, you can get some Savant or something with the maths, but Bandido could just be, yeah, it's a different type of thinking. Well, I've got to make a choice. So tell them about your slap game anyway. Tell
Yeah.
them about something funny that happens.
Yeah, it took a while to start getting my people to slap, because I was playing slap balls with this person. Because I don't always slap people if they're good. If they're bad though and they keep trolling and like blowing people up, then I slap them.
There were a lot of trolls to slap.
Yeah, I had this slap called the Hand of God.
Ooh.
And I'd put it back and it would go like the speed of light and then get sent out of the map.
And it does make a good sound when you slap someone as well. It's like, whoosh, like proper.
It takes about 5 seconds to reload the slap again, but I have 3 slaps, so I can just have them all in my inventory and slap someone and then slap them again and then slap them again and keep.
Oh, you use a different slap for each slap?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we could do that. So I've been playing with him a little
Yeah.
bit, but he's already way better than me. There's kids in it; they learn these things quicker. He's asking, "Are you an admin or is it a game mode?" Oh, it's like you buy. It's like or you earn. Sorry, you earn like admin flight and admin sort of abilities.
Yeah,
But you're not. He's not really an admin for it. It's just like a bit. It's like a part of equipment, I guess you'd say. You equip with it, but I think they call it admin just because it sounds like as if it's something really cool. So I've placed Ethan. I've placed my 3 on the odd one. So we've loaded it up. It won't fade yet because there's still only 2 moons. So you can see the moons at the side of the number. Basically the 1, 2, and 3 only have 1 moon. 4, 5, and 6 have 2 moons, and then the 7 has triple moon. All problems trying to lay a 7 down, but because the odd card has 3 moons here at the bottom, that means it doesn't fade until there's at least a total of 3 on the fates on it. So
I think it's the best I can get.
So he's worked out that it's going to be a 4 or 6, and he says that's the best he's got. So he's obviously not making a guess, and he's going to pull 2 new fates, and I'm going to try and guess his. I got to admit, I do like these chill ones. I don't always have to have a fire in front of me, do I, Sparker? I think if I did that every day, I'd probably have cooked legs though as well. The amount of times I end up getting toasted legs from those fires, it's crazy. Well, I've got to talk about something, Sparker. I don't expect anyone to really pick it up, but I figure if we do this like at least like a dozen times over the year, one of you might pick it up well enough that you go, oh, I'll come and join you. Shall I bring this on our camp, Sparker, and I'll teach you then? Yeah? We'll get about 10 beers into you, and then, or whatever it is you're drinking, and then I'll start teaching you. That'd make a fun time, wouldn't it? Quickly thinking about this one. Oh man, please no. Nah, don't worry. We generally don't do board games on camp nights. There's it's one of those things. There's always something going on. There's lots of chat to be had. You don't really need to pull out a board game then. This is more something we do just for chilling out in the evenings at home, or like I say, I'm going to Noah's for one. It's been quite busy sort of couple of weeks, to be fair. Did a games night at my friend Luke's place on the Friday just gone, and then this coming Friday I'll be at Noah's, and I've got stuff to do on the weekends, and then I've got you guys to stream with every day. It's been pretty hectic, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm still starting to struggle. I was expecting to have my video edited and ready to go last week, and it's not even finished. We've got another one on odd. Wow, we're just like using the same card over and over again. Oh, we've got loads of people in now, so I'm going to repeat myself. Subscribe and get in the chat. Say hello. We're here to talk. Tell me who you are, where you're from, and how your day's been. While I play this game and try to figure out what on earth he's been laying down. So he's laid a 7, which means he has a 2, 4, or a 6. Interestingly, he's gone with laying the 7. He could have laid the 2, 4, 6 there, but he might not have been giving me as much information. Yeah. Which tells me he might well have a 2, just because if he'd have laid a 4 or 6 there, I'd have said he had a higher odd number.
We can leave this one up to the chat, so we're not going to...
Well, I'm going to see what I can do, because I've got to make a guess this time, because we're going to get a fade, because there's now essentially 5 moons on this card, which is more than 3, so we're done. Daft Hat says, my dad invested in several packs of top trumps in order to stop my brother and I from fighting. I only poured petrol on it only poured petrol on the fire. Yeah. You can't stop lads fighting. But brothers will fight, and you just gotta try to mediate it as best you can.
What's Top Trumps?
It's a game that, well, I imagine everyone still plays it. Kids might do, I don't know, unless it's all been taken over by like Pokemon and things like that. I'll be honest, when I was younger, I was very little when we played Top Trumps, but when I got a little older, I was playing things like Magic the Gathering. Nolu's in. Hi, Nolu. Good evening. How's your day been? What was I saying? But Top Trumps is basically you get like, it could be about anything. So it could be about like aircraft, or it could be about animals, or anything really. Cars, all sorts of things, or made up characters. And essentially what it is like there'll be power ratings for it, like different things, like maybe strength, speed, agility, things like that. And each character, or each whatever card you has got basically these different attributes. And if I'm right, tell me if I'm wrong with this, but I think the idea was that somebody like plays a card, and you choose which attribute you're fighting against, and the other person chooses a card, and then you see if you can beat the other person's, and the idea is to try to basically win as many battles as possible, and you're trying to pick the one where you think you have the best sort of score in that sector. So if you think you've got the best speed, you say we're going to battle with speed, and then you play your good one against theirs. But the key is you might have a card that's still got a really high speed, but it might be the ultimate one for strength, and you don't really want to use it for speed. So yeah, I might have that completely wrong. School me in the chat if I'm wrong. Nelly says, not too bad, thanks. Yours? Yeah, my day's been great, to be honest, Nelly. I've had another fantastic one, to be honest. Yeah, just been editing a lot, doing a bit of schoolwork with Ethan, and organising a date for the weekend. So always nice when you've got something to look forward to. But I'm also looking forward to the evening with Noah and hopefully a few friends as well. I think the idea is he's going to invite a few people. And I have some not English in the chat, so I'll say hello to you. Yaya, that's a great name if that's how you say that. I like that. But I don't know if you understand me because you're not writing English, but great to have you anyway. There's a Horrible Histories edition. Oh, Horrible Histories, that's cool. We used to watch that quite a bit because that's got some crazy tales in it. Yeah, Horrible Histories, that's good. So let's have a little look. We've got to figure out the rest of this. So if one of your fates is higher than the other, play the higher one here. Well, you would have been able to play the 7 there, but it wouldn't have told me a lot, and it would have filled up. You can't play the less than 5. The even doesn't work, so you had to play on the odd. The only thing I've got to go on is the fact that he chose to play the 7 and not the even number.
Are we gonna?
So I feel like he has to have no, because I think I think I have to guess the 2, but I think he's not seen this and he's messed up. But because if he's got a 6, for instance, he could have played a 6, telling me he has the 7. Because you generally speaking, you play your lower fate when you've got the choice. But I'm wondering if he didn't realise he had the choice and if he thought he had to play his odd one there. But it says play one of them here. But he has a very bad habit of not reading the full bit on the card.
I could play either of them.
You could play either of them. But if you had a 2 and you play it, then I know you've basically got a 3, 5 or 7. Just like how you looked at mine, and because I played a 3 there, you've gone, well, he probably doesn't have a 2. So I'm going to trust that you thought this through because he saw it on his own one, and I'm going to guess that he has a 2. He's got a 6. All he had to do was put the 6 down. He's let us down.
I thought if I put 6 down, you have the choice of 1, 3, 5 or 7.
That is true. However, you have the choice of which one, and it's going to fade either way. It didn't matter what you put down. If
that's the thing, it's going to fade either way.
Yeah. But that's the thing, if it wasn't going to fade either way, then I might have looked at it and gone, okay, you've been forced to do something weird. But it was going to fade whether you put a 1 or a 7 or anything in. So I have to look at that and go, there must be a reason for you to put a 7. And the only reason to put a 7 is because you're telling me something.
Yes.
Because if you'd have put the 6 down there, what you'd have been telling me was, you have a 1, 3, 5 or 7, yeah, but you could have put the 5 down, tell me it was a 6 or 7, I don't know, you had a 6, and so on. So we're looking to always narrow it down as much as possible. So if you put the 6, I'm going to go, I think you have a 7.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the sort of thing that's a bit nuanced, and I'll be honest, me and Noah would get it between each other, but we've messed that up before. Like one of us does the thing, and then the other guy has a completely different thought, because it's sometimes difficult, and you start second guessing yourself. Dafat says salam. I assume that you're saying that to Yaya. Sparker68 says, I was supposed to be out in the hammock tonight, but the old sleeping bag I use as an under blanket has been used by the dog and it reeks, so it's in the wash. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. That is
Rising.
so we've got to put some doom on. We've got 3 doom because we've got 2 for the bad fade and 1 for the bad guess. Thank you to everyone who's put a thumbs up as well. There's quite a few of those in there. I appreciate that. Right.
That one's confusing.
Oh man.
That one's confusing.
Okay. So we've got a new one, rising. If one of your fates is higher than my highest visible fate, play your other fate here. So yeah, that is a bit tricky, that one. Give me a look at that. The artwork on these things is tremendous. We always appreciate that. Rising. If one of your fates is higher than my highest visible fate, play your other fate here. So basically, at the moment, because there's nothing on it, you can play either of your fates in here for free. But once there's a fate on here, so let's say you played a 2, right? this is saying that if one of your fates is higher than that 2, you can play the other fate here. So if both are higher than the 2, you can still place either one here. But what it's saying is the one in your hand that's left, that I need to guess, has to be higher than whatever's on this. But it's its highest visible fate.
So you put 6 down there and you play a...
So you could end up playing a 2, and then you could play a 6, but now you have to have a 7 left in your hand to be able to play there because there's a 6 on there.
If there's a 6 down there,
Yeah.
and we play anything else, that means we have a 7.
Yeah. So me and Noah play it where it's good to just throw a high number on there, like a 5 or a 6 early on, just to basically fill it up. And it doesn't give you a guess or anything like that, but it then means that if someone picks out a high number, that's going to give us a lot of information down the road.
Come on, Dad. It's your go.
Oh, Spark says, by the way, your text is reversed for us. I was asking this the other night and no one responded. Thanks for telling me, Sparker. I wonder if I can change that. Let me just see. No, there's flip camera. That's great. Screen lighting. Yeah, that's a shame. I'm going to see if there's something I can do about that, but I'll have to Google that another time.
Get a mirror.
Well, there might be something I can do. Maybe like there's a camera setting somewhere that I can change which won't flip it. But I did think that might be the case. It's a bit annoying. I don't know why it does that. But there you go. I mean, it should be an easy fix, really. A bit of software, just say flip the thing. But Darfat says, I bought an ex-army Arctic sleeping bag from a hammock, but I'd still use an under blanket all the same. Yeah, I think that's the thing with hammocks is obviously you can get a lot of airflow under there. So you do need something underneath, otherwise it's just taking your heat away. I have in my mattress, I've probably mentioned this a million times, but because obviously I'm always on the ground, but my mattress has a foil bit underneath which reflects my heat back at me. And it's pretty common these days to have something like that. But when I was buying mine, it was a very rare thing. There was only a couple of mattresses out there doing it. And the Thermarest one I got, I was quite intrigued by the idea, but I was questionable about it. Is it really going to make a difference? And I can attest, getting a bit of that foil underneath is a massive, massive deal, because I can really feel it just reflect my heat back at me, and it makes a huge difference in the cold conditions, which is why I have a sleeping quilt and not a sleeping bag. Although now I have my fleece sleeping bag liner, which kind of goes around me, and if it's cold conditions, I put it like underneath the mat, so like me and the mat are inside, because essentially I want that heat reflecting back at me, and I don't want any layers between me and it. Well, I have my clothes, but I don't really want more layers. I don't need anything too insulative, because I want that radiated heat to be like hitting me back against me.
Come on, Dad.
Right.
I'm waiting.
He's waiting. Okay.
I saw it now. Just kidding.
So you had information. Have you cleared it?
Nope.
There we go. I've got a bit of choice here. I'm going to go with that. I've put it on higher, which is if one of your fates is higher than the other, play the higher one here.
I guess you're a 4.
He's guessed right. I have a 4. Because he knew I had a 4 or a 6. As it turns out, because I think I had the 6 before, but I've used it now because it didn't really matter, because either one could have been the old one, because he thought that I had a 4 or a 6. So now I've just used the 6 to tell him the other one a 4. Is that that's the second good guess we've had, isn't it? So we've got 2 points. Go on then. You got the next one. I'm going to read the chat. That's true with the mirror idea from Ethan for the problem solving. That's a great idea. Bit tricky to put in practice, I feel, because if you have it like angled incorrectly, it might go wrong. You'd have to have it dead 45 degrees, I think, and a very good mirror as well. But I think we could do something like that. Yeah, I think the small gap is quite important to Spark. I assume we're talking about the insulation when you're in your hammock and that. To be fair, I've never done any hammock camping. Excuse me, any hammock camping. I'm not really keen on the idea. Just I like to be laying on the floor.
I like hammocks there.
Yeah,
I've been at one at Gwenda's, haven't I?
yeah, we had one for a while back, just for a bit of fun for the boys and for them to do stuff. But yeah, I prefer to be on the ground. I don't know why. It's just a personal preference. Daft says you've got to go. See you, Daft. Hopefully, I've caught you in time. Thanks for joining us and being part of it today. Hope you have a great night, and yeah, take care of yourself, man. Spark says I tried to use a foam thermal liner like you use in tents, but I think mine generated condensation. Yeah, I guess that could be an issue with that sort of thing. Yeah, hammocks are definitely like Marmite. You either love them or you hate them. That's for sure. I think that's the thing. Guys in tents aren't really usually too fussed about, like, if a tent's the best thing or not. I mean, I do bivy bags and all sorts of things, but anytime I meet a guy who uses hammocks, they are adamant the only way to go is a hammock, and they're very invested in how to set up a hammock as well. Like they're very critical about how it should be, and I guess it's one of those things. Until you try it, you can't knock it. And so, because I've never tried it, I don't knock it. They could well be right, and it could be the best thing since sliced bread, but it's not for me. I do have to say, I've got to be thinking about getting some new gear soon. Yeah, you might not fancy a bivy, but I love a bivy bag. I love it because it's really quick and easy to set up. So this is not a thing that really Tim worries about, because he always has a complicated tent. Oh, we're on for a 7. He's put 7 there, which means he's got something lower than a 7. Whew, that's not a great card. But that means he probably couldn't plan anything else. You don't want to put it on rising. He probably has an odd number, so because he would have played an even. No, sorry. If he has an odd number, he'd have played an even. So he probably has an even number, because otherwise he'd played on even. Because the 7 plus any odd number would make an even number, and he could have played there, and that would have been quite good. So I feel like that's all good. The lesson for, whoa, this is bad. Yeah, like he could have any of those 3 numbers here. I can get rid of the 2 by using this power, which I think I have to do. Is it a 1, 2, or 3?
Yes.
It is. I'm going to guess a 2. Oh, we got lucky. We got really lucky. That's crazy. Oh man. Woo, that was close. That could have been so bad. If you'd have been holding a 4, that would have been.
Guessed it anyway, but...
No, because I'd have been between a 4 and a 6. I would have guessed a 4. If you were holding a 6, we were stuffed. So we get another power higher than. Before making a prediction, the group may discard this. So basically, you can just ask if it's higher than a particular number. That's quite good. Yeah, anyway, I was talking about bivvies. So obviously, I used just. I'm sure you've seen it, Sparker. The whole cross-country thing that I did from London to Gloucester, and that whole time, just that Mylar bivvy bag the whole way. And to be honest, I wasn't that happy about using it as it was. I was intending to, because I bought like a 2-pack, and I was intending to use them, like cut them up and re-put them together as a bivvy with some level of frontage that would stop bugs and insects and slugs getting in. But I didn't get to do it, and my timing was I just had to do it when I was doing it, because I needed the full 8 days. I did it around the bank holiday. So I set off, and I was fully aware I was probably going to end up with all sorts of things inside of it, especially slugs. But I didn't get a single slug the whole time, which was crazy, because the first night I was sleeping on a bit of concrete, and I had to kick away so many slugs from the concrete path and off the wall above it, and I just cleared as much as I could in hopes that would kind of keep them at bay, at least until I was asleep, because I figured if they get in when I'm asleep and I don't notice it, it'll be all right, and I'll just clear it up in the morning. But I didn't get a single slug, which was just incredible. And I can only put it down to the fact that it's foil, and they didn't like the aluminized foil part of it, or the rustling, or I don't know what it was. But I would like to have something that works similar to that, with a bit of ventilation to allow a bit of condensation to get out, and a mesh frontage. And I'd like it a little bit longer, a little bit bigger, but roughly similar sort of dimensions. I'd love something like that because it was so nice just putting a bivvy down on the floor, put my bag in, like my mat in, my bag in, just climb in, job done. No setup time, no anything. It was just so easy. However, on the short trips where I'm going for camps with the lads and we're just doing stuff, I I would like a proper tent, and I have been considering getting like a two-man one or something like that. And depending on how things go on my day on the weekend, maybe I need a bigger tent and and change my idea about equipment. So you never know, but yeah, it's definitely something that's on the cards for maybe like a Christmas present to myself. Get myself a new tent, a new mat, and all that sort of thing. Some new equipment just for the shorter trips, not the big ones. But I but then I'm thinking if I can either design and build my own bivy bag. There are a couple of companies that deal with um, what is it called? Dyneema composite fabric, DCF, whatever they call it now. Um, but I'm thinking about maybe there's a company that they do make tarps and stuff out of that. I'm wondering if I could get in contact with them and say, could you make me one out of that, like a bivy bag? If I give you the dimensions, how much would it cost? So I could potentially do something like that, or just try to manufacture it myself. But I know that there isn't one out that fits exactly what I want it to be. So laugh out loud like Jaws. We're going to need a bigger tent. Yeah.
Come on, Dad.
Sorry. So I've got a couple of numbers. I've got to put something down. I'm going to go with
Have we got Doom?
yeah. We've got that. No. What for?
Remember you guessed my one wrong and it faded.
No. Yeah. We already did that. That's why we got three.
Did it happen again?
No, it only happened once, didn't it? Because we've only got we've only had two fades. Yeah. And that one there.
Yeah,
Oh.
I guessed that one.
Wait. No, that one was we got it right.
No, we didn't.
Did we not? Have we had two bad fades then?
We got that one wrong.
And then we got that one wrong.
And then
Oh.
we got that one right, didn't we? Remember? You used the power.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, we just
I
did.
don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, he's trying to confuse me.
Oh.
Oh, dear, it's hard enough as it is. You don't need a lad like this trying to confuse me as well. Anyway, go on then. You got to guess. You got to look at what I've done here.
What have you done? Oh.
Yeah, I can't talk about it now because he's trying to do his thing. I can't give
What
away.
does this do then?
Well, you got to read it and figure it
What
out.
if your face is higher than that means your face is higher than that one.
No, it doesn't mean that. No,
Oh.
there were no fates in it before. Yeah, so at the moment I play it, I can play anything. Okay,
Yeah.
so I've just played that there. It doesn't tell you a lot on its own. You have to look at the rest of the cards and have a think and decide on anything. There is some information out there, but I'll leave it down to you. He's got one of them. There you go. He's just decided I can't have a one. And the reason for that is this card over here, 4 apart. If the difference between your fates is 4 or more, play one of them here. If I had a 5 and a 1, you play a 5 down, you can only have a 1. So he's realised if I've played a 5, that's telling him I can't have a 1. The one I've played on doesn't really tell him a lot because there wasn't anything on there at first. This is just the first sort of loading it up kind of play. Hi, how am I going to say this? Uslof? Tell me, option 1, Uslof, option 2, Uslof. Or am I completely wrong and we need a third option? But great to have you in. Don't forget to sub and give us the thumbs up. But I appreciate you turning up and shouting out in the comments. This is what we're here for. You bit back and forth. So how was your day been? Second one. So the second one was Uslof, is that right? Yeah. Yeah.
You're forgetting now.
Yeah, I forgot which option. Uslof. Yeah. He says yeah. How's your day been? And where are you from? We love to know where everyone is from in the chat because we get people from around the world. It's fantastic, which is kind of one of the best things I think about YouTube. It's like a global playground, isn't it?
I'm done.
You're done?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess you're not guessing. That's fine. Now you take one. Wales. Ah, so not super international, but fairly close by. Lovely. That's how's the weather over there? The I know the weather can be quite changeable over there. I've been caught out before when I've been hiking in the Snowdonia. What do you call that sort of national park? Yeah, it's rainy over there. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, we've been caught out quite bad over there at times. I've been an inch from death in Wales, literally. I've told the story enough times. I think Sparker probably knows it like the back of his hands. Oh dear, fond memories though of Wales. I love Wales. We love the is it the Gower Peninsula? Yeah, we love that. Oh, cheers for the sub. Appreciate it. Oh my God, that should have been a heart and the Welsh flag. Ah, he didn't come out as that. Well, we'll take your word for it, Sparker. Right, so he's laid a 2 on even, which means his other one will be even. So he's got a 2, a 4, or a 6. So, now if he had a 6, he could have played his 2 on rising. That doesn't mean the 6 is out, but it does make it lower likelihoods. Because if he plays a 2 there, we've only got 2 options, which is better than 3 options. And it wouldn't cause it to fade. Yeah. Then you've got the less than 5. If he had a couple of 2s, he could play 1 there, and it would get me down to 3 numbers. So it's a bit of a 50-50 which one do you play here. I guess if you're looking at rising, that gives you more information than the less than 5, so that doesn't really help. The last bit of information is that you've got a 4 apart. If he had a 2 and played it there, I'd know he had a 6 or 7. So there's a couple of options saying he could have had these that are slightly better for a 2 and a 6. So I'm going to get rid of the 6 and say it has to be a 2 or a 4. Now the odds are slightly ahead for a 4 just because there's already a 2 out now, obviously. But that's very slim. There are obviously 3, well, I keep saying the word obviously a lot. I've noticed this when I'm editing. I'm like, oh, man, you keep saying obviously. Nothing is obvious. This bag has 3 of each number in it, which means there's a couple of 2s left, even though he's played 1. Yeah, it's a fun game, Uslof, but it's not for everybody, I'll be honest. But it's got some really cool like graphics and that on it. The makers really did. I'm aware that it's flipped, but the artwork is fantastic. The hours card is really cool. So yeah, we like this. It's got a bit of something for everybody. Yeah, they put a lot of effort into this. To be fair, me and Noah, when we first played it and it was somebody else's game, and we loved it so much we wanted to get hold of it. But they were only ever selling it, I think, on Kickstarter or one of those places, and they were doing very select amount of run, like in each run, and it had been ages since they'd done one, and we couldn't get hold of any. So I got hold of all the print stuff, all the print files, and I literally sent it off to my printer, and got them all printed out like a really nice card, and I found some tiles and everything, and I basically recreated it so we could play it, and I made one for me and one for Noah, and just like gifted him one so we could play. But then eventually, I don't know, it was a few months later, or maybe a year, I can't remember how long it was, they put another run in, and he actually went and bought one for each of us, which was pretty cool of him. So yeah, we now play with the real McCoy. But we loved it so much, we couldn't wait for the run. We went to make it. I wanted to make one myself.
Come on, Dad.
I don't know that I need to make the guess, and I think I've got enough. I could get there with the power and ask, is it higher than a certain number? But I think I'm just going to take one. Yeah, I've got to admit, the game takes so much longer because I'm chatting to you guys. But we're here to chat, so. Hey, Vic's in. Hi, Vic. How's your evening been? And how's your whole day been? So you didn't just look in the camera at my things, did you?
No,
I saw you looking in close. I said, hold on,
No, I was looking at Vic.
Ah, right.
It's Sparker.
How's the weather over there today? Asked Vic. Was nice to see the sun today here. Yeah, do you remember, it started off wet and then it got sunny and we went out for a little bit of frisbee. So yeah, it was a bit like a semi-nice day. The second half was good. It was nice.
They can't see numbers anyway. They're blurred. If I try to look at them, all I see is black little ships.
There we go.
Forward.
I played it on Rising, which says if one of your fates is
guess
higher.
6.
There you go. He's got it straight away.
Why is there so many sixes coming out?
I don't know. It must be a sixist game. Oh, what a big pun comes in. Tim will love that if he manages to watch this and see that. He loves a good pun. I'm assuming Uslov's asking me. Yeah, my day's been fantastic. Thanks very much.
Hey, what are you doing?
This is super nerd level. Yeah, it is, Sparker.
You trying to pick some, your numbers out?
So, well, wait. That fades. We get the point now.
Well, how many were on it? 4.
Yeah, 4. So that fades. We get the power, and now we've got a new card. Plus or minus 2. If one of your fates is exactly 2 more or less than the other, play one of them here. That's a good card if you get the right numbers. We've got to get the right numbers. I have to say, these seem to be quite popular though, Sparker. They might be super nerdy with the games and just chilling out like this, but these are definitely some of my most popular streams. I don't know why. Maybe people just like games. I guess that's true. Like one of my favourite shorts creators is a guy. What's he called? Oh, Bonzo. Is it Bonzo? Yeah, I'm sure it's Bonzo. He plays that game like Brain It Out or whatever. I don't know what it's called. Where he's you have to like draw shapes to control balls to get them into like get orange ball into the orange cup or something, and sometimes you've got to like, do something crazy, and he's all very flamboyant with it and very loud, and I love that. He's a good laugh. He even had his daughter in there for a bit. I don't think she does it with him anymore. I'm not sure how that went, how all that panned out, but yeah, he still does really good videos. I like that. So he's played on the black one on the hours, which means he can't play on the others. That gives me a fair bit of information. I already know he's got a 2 or 4. So let's have a little look. A plus or minus 2 doesn't help me because we already know he can't do that. Even doesn't help me because we know it'd be odd. That doesn't help me. 4 part doesn't help me.
It moves along to here, doesn't it? So we've got fade.
That's right, so it'll fade. So I'll have to do something. Now, I don't imagine he looked at this, but this one allows him to add 1 to the fate that he doesn't play. So, for instance, if his fate was a 2, he could have used that to turn it into a 3 and be able to play it on plus or minus 2.
Oh, so
And then that way, I'd have gone, okay, that doesn't work with a 4 because the 4 becomes a 5 and he still can't play that card. But the 2 would have become a 3, meaning he can play that card. So, if I thought that he'd read that card, which I don't think he did, I'd be guessing a 4 about now. However, because I don't think he read that card, I'm going to use this power, which means I can ask him, is your fate higher than a 2?
no.
No, so you have a 2.
Wait, it is.
Eee, we've got another one. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
We're almost there. We need 2 more points and we win.
I was about to read that one, but then you were talking to the chat and I was listening.
He got distracted by me in the chat. He says, yeah. What we got? We've got a bit of chat. I'm going to scroll back up and just read. Uslov says, I got interested by the cards. I thought it was Pokemon. I've played a bit of Pokemon. Luke and me played some Pokemon. We have done in the past a few times. It's a pretty nice game. If I had Pokemon cards, I'd probably stream a bit of that, but I don't.
Cards.
Yeah, not enough to play though.
I've got a ton of them.
Have you?
Yeah, I've got like 200 or 300.
Oh right, where were they then? At your mum's?
Granddad's.
Oh, Nana and Granddad's. Oh, there you go.
I've got a whole book of them.
All right.
They used, well, I've got like 400 or 500.
Do you know how to play?
Forrest taught me.
So you know how to play?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe he'll have to bring his Pokemon cards and we'll have a game.
Yeah, I've got a whole book of
Right.
them.
What else we got? Can anyone remember that when TV didn't like Molly's couch pattern on what? Can anyone remember when TV didn't like Molly's couch pattern on men's suits? Oh, oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
What happened?
Well, I don't remember that per se, but I know what he's talking about because when I was putting this on, apparently the camera was going mental because when you move this, it kind of has a right effect on the camera because it's quite a pattern. Yeah. Sparker says, "Oh my God, our kids, adult kids, are mad on Pokemon." I mean, it's a popular game and it is good fun. I think I mentioned earlier, I grew up on a bit of Magic the Gathering, and they're pretty similar in terms of obviously you've got like this is what I would call mana and stuff like that, and you have to play your creatures and stuff like that. So when I've played them, I equate them to being very similar games. But I can see why Pokemon was the more popular one, as it's certainly more approachable. Sparker says, laugh out loud, Vic. I did warn him about the crazy pattern. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I quite like. I've really come to like this so far. Well, the new cover for it, the new throw. It's been really lovely with the extra blanket underneath to keep my actual bed sheet from getting any crumbs going through. But we also just try to avoid too much. But the softness of this, the feel of it, it's got a lovely soft feel to it. It's been really nice, and I've got very used to the colour very quickly. Let's have a little look. Yeah, modern cameras don't have the same problem. I guess it's not quite as bad at least. Am I streaming tomorrow? Asks Yusuf. Yes. Obviously, you weren't here when I said this, and I try to say this in every stream at the start. But I'm doing a challenge where I'm trying to stream daily every day. So every day, streaming for a whole year. The idea being just giving people a place to come and just do this random nonsense. I do different stuff, so it's not always games like this. Sometimes it's out on campsites, sometimes it's a hike somewhere, a bit of geocaching, just whatever I'm feeling like doing really. Which, to be honest, some days is just me chatting to you guys and having a nice little chin wag, especially if I've been working in the day and I haven't got a lot of energy. But if I can, I like to get out, maybe like cook a little bit of food over a fire or something like that. The fires are always quite popular as well. I'd say it's very close between having a fire and playing some board games. Magic the Gathering was huge in America. Yes, it was, to be fair. It wasn't big here, I'll be honest. It was for the geeks and nerds only. I was definitely a bit of a geek when I was younger. But yeah, I hope you can make it in, Uslof. I hope you don't have to make it in every day. There's no stress about anyone doing that, but we're here for you whenever. Uslof's got to go to bed. See you, Uslof. Thanks for joining us. Hope I see you another time. Yeah, sleep well, man. Oh, well, I say man. I have no idea if it's a man or a woman, to be fair. That's the other weird thing when I'm talking to people here. I'm not always sure. But take care. Thanks for coming in. All right, let me get this one done. So we've got high odds now. If your fates... Oh, this is one of those complicated ones. It gets me even. If your fates are unequal and both odd, play your higher fate here. If only one is odd, play your lower fate here.
What? I didn't take any of that in.
So they have to be unequal, so they can't be the same. And no, either one or both of them has to be odd. And if one of them is odd, you play the lower one. If both of them are odd, you play the higher one. Okay. Still didn't sound easy, did it? That I hate that card. That's one of those. There's a few in here that I just hate. They just like, oh, every time I just got to run through the logic of it because it's just.
Yeah.
It's just not that. It's not intuitive at all. Quite a lot of these are, but this is.
I bet you messed that one up a few times.
Yeah, I've messed it up quite a lot of times. Every time I mess it up as well, when I'm playing, he gets pretty annoyed with me. I can just tell he's like, why have you not got this already? A fate is the numbers. So you think of it like a fortune cookie. You get given your little cookie, and it tells you what your future is. but these are your fates basically, and then yeah, you have to try to guess the other guy's fate essentially.
If you look at the bottom of these, this one has that thing, like the diamond.
Oh yeah, I think that's to do with this is one of the newer. So this is because when Noah got this, I think part of the reason he got it is they updated it and put extra cards in, and this is one of the new
And that one.
cards. Yeah, yeah. So some of these are definitely part of the new series, I think.
Yeah, there might be another new one. That one.
Right.
That one's a new one. That one's not. I don't think they were.
Here you go.
There's another one.
I'm putting it on even. There you go. Now he's got to do the thinking. This is what I should really do. I should play without talking, and then when it's his turn, I should then do the
I'm
talking.
just gonna plug my ears now so I don't get distracted by Dad. Now Dad's gonna start screaming.
Oh man,
so I
it's
can
not,
hear
it was
him.
supposed to be a short stream as well. I was like, we'll have one quick game, and it's not been quick at all. Last time we did this, we did like 2 games, well, 1 game and a half. And you get the fates at the start, and it's random. Well, so each turn, you basically, so when I do my turn, like, and I've laid one down, you have to have 2. So then you lay one and you keep the other. And then when he has his go, if he's not holding any fates, he takes 2 out of the bag, and then again lays one and keeps the other. If he's already holding one, because I didn't guess it the previous rounds, then he'll only take 1 from the bag. And you can use either one, but the objective is to try to keep using your new fate so that the other guy can build up knowledge of the one that you haven't played yet. That's why you have these other ones down in front of you. They're there just as a reference, so you can remind yourself if you've got any information about the person's fate. A bit tired. I'm going to be honest, I did not sleep much last night. It was a bit of a late one. I was a bit wired anyway, and I was trying to get some editing done, and then I get a message from Tim, and he's all a bit unhappy, I suppose is the best way to say it, about comments on Reddit and people trolling him. I do find it interesting, actually. I'm going to just talk about that. I don't think Tim will see this. I don't think he goes through watching my lives, but it's interesting to, like, just to me. I've used Reddit a little bit. I find it marginally useful. Just there is some half decent information for very specific type things, and he went on there looking for something that I would say is part of that, which is when you've got Google, you can obviously just ask certain questions, get answers, but it can't give you an answer for everything, even without AI helping. And every now and then you want the wisdom of the crowd. And I'd say what he was asking was fairly reasonable in terms of it being something he wanted wisdom of the crowd, which I think he said along the lines of because he's been looking for a new tent for a while. He wants to get one. He can't spend a lot of money. He's not made of money. So he's trying to find an ultralight tent with certain criteria. And he went on there looking. I think basically, I think the long and short of it is he's looking for a 4-season tent, not a 3-season tent. And obviously, everyone has a bit of an open interpretation to what a season is.
I guess you have a 2.
He's guessing a 2. That's interesting.
I've discarded the twice.
Yeah, he's going to have 2 guesses, are you? Okay. I can tell you I don't have a 2.
Do you have a 4?
I do have a 4.
Yes.
Job
I was tempted to say, do you have a 2? And then, do you have a 6?
Yeah. I feel like I could have potentially used a +1, but I was just so busy talking, and I figured he might not see, like, might not get it. So I was like, I'd just do it straight up, and he'd be able to get it. We only need 1 more point. Got a new card, 147. That's a much easier card. Essentially, if you've got a 147 and your other fate isn't, you just play your 147 on this card, telling the other person the other fate isn't a 147. So yeah, as I was saying, so I think that's a reasonable question. Does anyone know of any good ultralight 4-season tents? Because you could ask Google, and you're going to get sponsored results. You might even get 1 or 2 results of tents that fit what you're looking for. And I think he'd done that and got, as Sparker's saying, you find one or two and they're in the expensive territory. I think he told me he found one for about 700 quid, which is the perfect tent. But 700 quid for a tent, I don't think I've paid more. I don't think I've paid triple digits ever for a tent. Yeah. Noah's tent was like 30 quid.
Dad,
He's had that for a decade and a half and
Dad,
it's still going.
watch this.
He's using the +1 and he's playing. Remember, the +1 is for the one you don't play, yes?
Wait, oh yeah. Oh no, wait, I can't use that.
Okay. He's going to change his mind. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so Noah spent like 30 quid a decade and a half ago. I think he got it from, it was Halfords or Tesco's or somewhere. We were literally going to head out and he came up and we went to the shop and he picked one and then we just went mental. And he's made that work in some places you wouldn't believe. It's mostly busted. He does need a new one now. But I'm certain I've never paid even 100 quid for a tent. So the idea of paying 700 quid for a tent, no matter how good it is, I'm like, for nah. And like Tim's the same. He doesn't want to spend that kind of money. So I think it's a reasonable question. Like, you know, you could definitely Google it and get some answers, and you might find the one you want. But if you're not finding the one you want, you could then assume there isn't one out there. At that point, no, a smart person might go, let's ask the wisdom of the crowd. Get on Reddit, start a thread, or get on another one and ask about, see if anyone else who's maybe done a bit of research on it or is just an avid camper has bought one recently that they can recommend. Maybe someone's got a free season, says, actually, it's rated as a free season, but I'd call this a 4-season because it can do this and that. Maybe someone's out there, a bit of knowledge. And I'd say that's an absolutely legit question to ask. But apparently got flack for it. And I think he was saying partly because he might have mentioned he's a YouTuber on there or something, or maybe they could just tell. I don't know. But he was saying that, and I was like, yeah, I don't know that being a YouTuber necessarily means that you have every bit of knowledge in the world. Yeah, so I think it's really unfair to be like that. But at the same time, it's the bottom of the internet, isn't it? It's Reddit. That's
Wake up.
Are you done?
Yep.
So where do you put your fate then?
Where do you think? There was no fates on before.
Was there not?
Yeah.
So you played it here?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he stuffed us, hasn't he? Shaking. So high odds. He has stuffed us. He's played it on this one. I'm not going to understand how this works. I'm going to get it wrong.
So do I have to tell you? If
Sparker says, love the dramatic build-up, Ethan.
Do I have to tell you if only one of them is odd or both of them are odd?
No, you don't get to tell me anything. I have to just, so it could be either for me. Yeah?
Oh.
Yeah. That's why it's hard. So if your fate's unequal, so he doesn't have a 5 because he can't play it there. If that's his higher one, then both are odd. So then he could have a 1 or a 3. If it's his lower one, then only 1, so he could have a 6. So we can have a 1, 3, or 6.
I messed that up then.
Well, you got to leave it there. You got to leave it there.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
I know.
I didn't read it properly.
Okay.
It was bugging my mind.
Are you declaring a mess up then?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's declared mess up, and when there's a declared mess up, there's a rule on this, which is that I don't get to make a guess. We thankfully don't get a bad fade because that has 3 moons on the card, and a 5 is only worth 2.
Do you want to know what it was?
No, you can't tell me anything. You can't. You keep that.
Do I?
Yeah. So we continue on, but we get 1 doom. No, we don't get any doom because there's no fade. That's it, and there's no bad guess. So there's no doom, but we basically just end up loading up the card. That's the only penance there, thankfully. But we could have got 2. We could have got 2 doom for that.
I've done that.
I told you he'd messed us up, didn't I? I told you. I said he'd messed it up as soon as he used that card. Like my general rules, don't use that card. It's too difficult. Oh dear.
Silly card.
It is a silly card.
Don't know why it can't just be clever.
Ooh. I'm gonna put it there on the 4 part. That's a cracking. I like that one. 4 parts are easy. They just have to have a difference of 4 or more. You can put one down, and if you can use that one, it generally speaking narrows it down quite far. There you go.
I think he has a 6, but I'm not guessing it because I don't need to.
And unfortunately, we don't have a power that can narrow it down between a 6 and a 7, but he has got it down to just a 6 or 7. So he also told me he's stuffed up, so it means that I have to nullify out my knowledge of what he might have had. Because, yeah, he obviously stuffed it up and didn't tell me anything. Vic says, I'd be the same too much. Yeah. I think you're talking about the tent there. Yeah, yeah, 700 quid for a tent. Just blows my mind.
I keep getting
Like, I guess if you've got a lot of money and you really, really want to do some ultralight winter walking, sort of, and get some camping in up at the hills, yeah. But I find that, I mean, my tent probably isn't even rated a proper 3 season. It's just a single wall thing. And I've slept in -9 Celsius, but that's because I use trees for cover. And on that one, I was underneath a massive fern, and it makes a huge difference. Like the video's on the channel somewhere. You can go and watch it. It's I did it over at Wilstead, basically, right near a spot where we used to park the van. And there's like an abandoned road, and just like I woke up in the morning and everything was frosty, like the whole thing. And it wasn't like a little frost; it was like crispy. But yeah, under the tree, none of that. And I'd had a little fire the night before, cozy as anything, got in a tent. Yeah, I mean, it might as well have been a balmy night, to be honest. Mental. Right, have you laid one? He's put a 1 down, which means he's got. I put the 2 down. Which means he's got a 5, 6, or 7. Okay. All right. There's no need to guess again. With that, the other good thing about 4-part is it has a lot of moons, so you can load this thing up. It's really good.
It's 4.
It's 4 or more. So, I mean, to be fair, I know he doesn't. I can say he doesn't have a 5 because if you had a 5, you'd played a 5 there, and I'd know you have a 1. So I've actually got it down to a 6 or 7, which is actually quite good.
I got it down to 6 or 7 like you. You have a 6 or 7. Who's going to get it first? It's a race now. I want to win. No, I want to see if we can get that together. It's the only team game I know.
There we go.
Don't do it.
I'm playing high odds. I have to say not to play it. That's crazy.
Don't know what to do.
Well, just read it. You'll be right. You already know I've got a 6 or 7, right? So all we've got to do is narrow it down between the 2. Sparkus says, I've only bought 2 tents and it was 130 for 2 of them, 50 for the OEX Hyena 2 and £8 for the Nature Hike Monga 2. Yeah, and I'll be honest, those OEX tents, solid stuff. Not that I've used. I mean, I've got a OEX bivvy bag that Paul gave me, and that thing's quite nice. It's small for me, but it works quite well for Ethan, and it would for Henry as well. Ethan slept in that one.
I guess you have a 6.
He's guessing a 6, and he is right. Woo! We've won this one.
No!
Champions. We've done it.
Wait a second, Dad. I'm going to.
We beat our fate, and we have not.
I want to do something.
We have beat death.
I want to see if you would get my one now.
Oh, okay. We'll be quick about it though. I mean, I'll do that just because I'm chatting on here. But yeah, but I've obviously seen Paul using his OEX tents and the Hyena 2 specifically as well. And yeah, solid tents actually. Always nice. Heavy though. They're not exactly ultralight. Me and Tim are definitely the kind of guys we like an ultralight tent. Although to be fair, I am considering something like an OEX for if I want like a 2-man thing that's for shorter journeys. I don't think I'd mind a little bit of extra weight for the tent, but I want something big, something that I can really sit up in and be comfortable, even in a chair, like something with a vestibule. So if there was like rainy conditions, because my thoughts are especially as I'm doing all these streams. At some point, I might get out for a camp just on my own or with somebody else, and want to do like live streaming. And if it's raining, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? I mean, that's something I've been wanting to do ever since I started the YouTube channel, was to get out and have like a proper, like either under a tarp
Dad?
or in a nice tent with a good vestibule, do like a rainy live stream where everyone can enjoy a fire with the rain hitting the tent and the sounds and everything. Oh, it'd just be awesome. Proper ASMR levels. So he's got 4 that he played on Nowhere. I know he's got so that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay.
1 second. Oh no, I can play, can't I?
Where?
With my other one.
Oh yeah, if you can play with the other one, you have
Oh
to
yeah,
change.
I'll just have to.
No, you stuffed
Wait a
it.
second, I've
No, no,
stuffed it,
he
haven't I?
stuffed it. He stuffed it. All right,
Wait a second,
we
I've
already
stuffed
won anyway. You go and pick another one and try again.
I
He just
stuffed
wants to see if I
I
can get.
stuffed us.
Uh, Yeah, no, no. Sparker's agreeing, saying, yeah, well done, guys. Thanks for that. And Vic, yeah, OEX are solid. Yeah, they are, but not ultralight. Yeah, that's exactly why I got the Mongar Moly, but they are very different versions, and I got the one without the vestibule. Yeah, I really enjoy vestibule just to have a place that's dry that I can actually get like my shoes off and stuff. And oh, you want me to guess now? So you played a one over there, yeah? Yeah.
No. I played a 3, 3, 2, 1.
Oh right. You played the 3?
Yeah, the 3.
So you have a 7 then?
No, I don't. Wait, what? It's a 6. Oh, I messed up.
He's messing us up. He's got a 7.
Oh.
He's always a wind-up merchant.
I've got a 6.
Who else has got a kid who's just a constant wind-up merchant? It's a 7. I told you. Right, you pack
No,
this.
it's not, Dad. No, it's
Will
not.
you pack?
It's a 6.
Yeah. Now, will you pack this away for me,
No, it's
please?
It's a 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Right.
stole your
Will
one.
you? Yeah, I know. Will you do that for me, please, Mother?
What?
While I wind up the chat, could you pack it all away?
You're gonna wind everyone up in the chat.
No, I'm gonna end the chat. All right. Yeah. So I'm not familiar with the manga, to be fair, but I imagine it's probably quite good. If you've got the common sense to buy an OEX, then that one would be quite good. Vic says get a tarp moldy. To be fair, I've got a tarp. We used that on the first Peak District camp with me, Tim, Paul, and Noah, and it did its job there. To be fair, it kept everyone dry and allowed me to have a fire underneath, and we even had a tiny bit of rain during that, but it wasn't enough to get on video. To be fair, that much. So, but I'm looking for the idea is like rather than having to do a whole tarp and then a tent, and because sometimes as well you don't have the trees for the tarp, and I guess I can put sticks up, but the thing is like even just with a tarp, I could make a tarp into a tent if I have a good sized tarp, and it's very versatile. But the issue with something that's versatile like that is that you actually have to put the effort in to set it all up, and I am too lazy. For that. I just want to be able to, that's what something I love about my tent. It's very simple setup, just to stick some, hello, stick some pegs in the ground around the right bit, just stretch the bottom out, and there's no readjust like Tim has to do. It's just stick one in, pull the thing tight, stick another corner in, and then just work the corners around, stick one last peg in, go cut myself a stick, which to be fair is the only bit that makes any hassle for me, and then push that thing inside, another peg in, job done. And I'm like, it's so quick and easy. That said, when I get a new tent and it's and it's like a better one, I probably will get one with poles, just so I don't have to worry about the stick thing, and then it'll hopefully marry out. But I don't want something that I'm like, oh, you're gonna set it all up, get everything right, and then do another setup of another bit, and it gets complicated. But and then I think that's the thing I was saying is anyway with tarps. Let me get my arm ready. Yeah, with tarps, the issue is obviously if I'm doing a tent and a tarp, it's like just double setup, and it's just a bit of a hassle. But tarps are definitely useful in the right setting, so having one is pretty decent.
I feel like a hunched over person.
I'll be honest, if I have to go out in the rain at any point, careful, my funny, you're on my.
I'm on the mic.
Yeah, you are.
Oh,
Yeah, you're going to be deafening everybody. I think Yeah, I might have to take the tarp out if I want to use my tent anywhere at any time when there's going to be a decent amount of rain, just because my tent is no longer waterproof. It's nearly 15 years old. No, that tent's not that old. I think that tent's only about 10 years old. I could be wrong. It could be 9 or 10 years, something like that. But it's basically best part of a decade old, and I have not done anything to maintain it. To be honest, it's how I bought it. I didn't. It came with sealed, what do you call it, seams already and stuff like that. I just bought it from AliExpress, I think. In fact, it wasn't expensive. Got out and started using it. It was great, but it's now got one sort of cut in the bottom. It's not really causing any problem, and I haven't even bothered to repair it yet, but I will. But the rest of it, there's a few bits where there must be water getting in, because if it rains a lot, I definitely get a couple of small little puddles inside, which isn't a big deal. I've got little pack towels that I can use just to wipe that up. But obviously, if there was a lot of rain, I'd be in a bit of trouble. Fab seal it, mate. Well, I probably could, but I've had bad experience with trying to seal things up which are no longer sealed. And to be fair, I'm just ready for a new tent. That one is, I'm not joking. The amount of spare room I have in that from my feet to my head is like that much. I'm not joking. Like, if I'm stretched out, like, that's how much spare room I've got. And I want something just with a bit more space if I'm going to have a tent. If I don't mind it with a bivvy, but even the Mylar bivvy though, when I was going cross country and I had a bivvy, that felt like more space because it was a good size thing, and yeah, I didn't have it on my head like the tent. It's just so annoying because I've got my feet touching the end or my head touching the end, and oh god. Whereas that didn't happen with the bivvy bag. That didn't happen at all. But that was partly because there was no bit of at the end of my head, but it was actually long enough to get me all in. So. No, it's not that I've grew. It's always been that way, Vic. It's always been just big enough for me. And when I got it, I was like, oh, that's great, because obviously you don't want any excess material. If it was an extra half a foot longer than I was, it would just be more material I'm carrying. But these days I'm a bit like, I can carry a bit more weight. I've lost so much around the old gut that yeah, I've got a bit of excess weight that I can carry if I need it. I think a couple 100 grams for a little bit more material is not going to break my back. It's the age when it comes to salt. I mean, to be fair, if I shrunk a little bit, that'd probably be quite useful, wouldn't it? Can you imagine that? Just keeping your tent, just because you know eventually as you get old, you might shrink by like half an inch or something, or an inch even, and then you'll fit your tent better. I tell you, it's got nothing. I think it's a nature hike one that Henry, is it nature hike? Him and his brother have these red ones, and we used it up. Me and Henry used it in the Lake District, and that thing is rated as a 2-man tent. And I'm like, what men are you measuring this on? It's a 2-child tent, not a
Dwarfs
2-man.
or something?
No, I don't know if you can say that, but basically, it's like you've got if you're taller than about 5'3", you ain't fitting in this thing lengthways, and I'll be honest, like it's more like a one-person tent width-wise. It just isn't even long enough for me. It was about that far too short for me to fit my feet like in lengthways. And even when I went across the diagonal, I still had my feet against the tent and my head against the tent. I had to like go across the diagonal, lay slightly flexed and bent, which is doable because I would lay on my side. So there's Henry laying on his mattress, and I'm essentially laying across both of them, kind of wrapping myself around him just to fit inside this crazy little tent. It was mental, but that's what you get for going out into the Peak District, not the Peak, the Lake District. So we get for going into Lake District with a new bit of gear that you've not tested. I mean, we did have the tarp with us, and if there was any big problems, we would have been able to hunker down under that. But thankfully, it wasn't terrible weather conditions. I'm not being racist, but they're often made in China. What's this? One man and his dog.
One man and his dog.
What's made in? Are we talking about the tents here?
Yeah.
I assume.
One man and his
I
dog.
see what you're talking about. The height of them. Yes. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's that's true. The average height over there is a bit different to the average height here.
One man and his
It
dog.
and
Was that
to be
like?
fair, I do weirdly I think of myself as average height, but obviously 6 foot is not average height. So I say fair play. I think maybe like someone 5'4" would have fit in the tent okay. 5'6" at a push, but it's just the width of it as well. I'm like, you couldn't get two mattresses. Like they're ultralight mattresses that are like quite thin, and you couldn't put them side by side. You just couldn't fit them inside. I'm like, anyone goes in there with a decent sized mattress, never mind the size of the person, the mattress isn't fitting, which tells you a lot about. I'm like, what's going on?
Maybe
Who measured this thing?
Maybe the mattress is in China though. Maybe they're different.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, mine's a Thermarest and his is, I can't remember what it was, but it's a decent enough thing, brand. So, but yeah, crazy.
What does he mean by one man and his dog?
Like Vic saying, like for the tent, one man and his dog could fit in, but it's short man though, short man. One Chinaman and his dog could fit in the tent. Yeah, we go with that. Oh, we've got a new person in the chat. Hi Darren. Hi there, you two. Hope you're both well. Keep safe and look after the lad. Will do. Thanks for that. I hope you've had a great day. And I don't know if you've been watching at all, but great to have you saying hi in the chat. I'm going to wrap it up. It's been an hour and a half. This was supposed to be a short one, so we're about an hour overdue. But yeah, thanks everyone for turning up and for joining us. It's been great this evening. The chat's been good. I guess we were talking about tents and it just goes off, doesn't it?
Game of the Hearts.
Yeah, thanks for that. I always appreciate everyone's support. As always, I hope to see any of you whatever day you can come in. I hope to see you again soon. And yeah, Sparker, don't forget to send me an email back, and we'll get a trip going. But yeah, everybody, thanks very much. You have fun.